What's up guys, CJ Ravens here, and then on September 4th, the full release of Player Unknowns Battlegrounds came out. Version 1.0, I think it is, I'm not exactly too sure honestly. Back in June, I made a World's Worst Games on PUBG, and I honestly highly recommend that you check that video out. Not only do I review the game before it fully came out, but it's just honestly a funny video in my opinion. I love the video, so that's why I recommend checking it out. It will not only just give you a good review of what it was, but you may laugh. I mean, maybe. So check that video out if you want to. But today I'm going to be saying that the full release of PUBG still sucks, and we're going to be going over it. You could say this is a mini review, but honestly it's more of a ass ripping, I guess you could say. It's bad on the Xbox One. So to make this video a little bit easier for you and for me, I'm going to be doing this in different categories. The first category we're going to be doing is technicality. I think that's the word, I'm not sure. So back when PUBG was first released, you would see a lot of textures not loading in. PUBG for the Xbox One in terms of technical terms is very, very bad. There's times where you will join into a game, you'll load in, and the graphics just won't load in, or the textures just won't load in. That still happens in the full release of the game. Something that you think would be fixed already, the textures just don't loading for buildings, for cars, for just fucking furniture. It doesn't load in for anything. One of the reasons why I say the textures is very important is because when you go into a game, especially in a battle royale game, a lot of loot is inside of a building, and when the textures aren't loading in and the furnitures don't load in and the whole building is just fucking not there, it can be very hard getting loot when the building is just not there or the textures aren't there. It can give you a big disadvantage, meaning that if you don't get a gun and someone else next to you gets a gun, then they more than likely will kill you because you're not able to loot the house. The best example I can give is in this clip right here. The stairs don't load. There's a gun above me, but the stairs aren't loaded in, so I'm not able to grab the gun. There's no other guns on this first floor, so I have to go up to the second floor to get that gun. If someone were to just come in, they would have killed me. That's the whole point I'm trying to say, is that the textures are needed for a game like this, especially a battle royale game. I wouldn't be very harsh on a game like this when it comes to textures, but you need it. You need it a lot. And when you have these N64 graphics are on these games, especially at the very beginning of the game, it can really ruin it. And since we're talking about textures, just the graphics, they're bad as well. Again, I said this, they still look like it's a PlayStation 2 game. I'm not a big graphics guy, but honestly, they just look really bad, especially a game that made over $1 billion. You would think that the game would look a little bit better. And the frame rate is still just dookie. I don't know what the exact frame rate is, but it sometimes feels like the game runs in at around 20 to even 15 frames per second at some point, especially when you get in gunfights. I can't believe they did it, but they did it. They added them into the game. I even in my World's Worst Games video said this: loot boxes are here, and thankfully they are just cosmetics only, and as far as I can tell, you can't spend any real money on them either. Unless we're talking about those outfits, you don't need to spend any money at all. Yep, I said that. I was very happy that they didn't add in microtransactions, and guess what? They fucking did. Not only are there BP or battle points, but they added in a new thing, and it's called G points or something stupid like that, and you can buy them and pretty much purchase them for stuff that you don't need. I mean, the loot crates are honestly just cosmetic only, but still, the fact that you add in a fucking microtransactions ability just makes it worse. It just proves that you are only in it for the money rather than anything else. I mean, your game is still terrible. It's still trash on the Xbox One, and then you have the audacity to put in microtransactions into the game. You would think that a game like this would have really good gun mechanics in it, but in all honesty, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. I said in my video last time that the gun mechanics were alright, but in my opinion, I think that they've gotten a lot worse since then. When you mix both the having the gunplay being bad and the frame rate being bad, the game is just damn near unplayable. There's so many times where you try to shoot at somebody and then the frames drop, or you try to shoot at somebody and then your gun just acts all dumb and shit. When you use third person mode, it feels like your bullets go everywhere but the person you're aiming at, and when you use first person mode, it feels like you just have a disadvantage because people are in third person mode. I don't know how to explain it. You would just have to play it to see it. It's not good at all. It's fucking terrible. The gameplay is just still boring as hell. There's times where you'll play for a full 25 minutes, just like I did in this gameplay, and you won't see anybody at all. Not even kidding. This was a full 25 minutes I played. I didn't see one person, and I ended up dying in the storm. And I want to point something out. The reason I died in the storm was because I was so desperate to try and find people that I wasn't even paying attention to the storm. This game is so bad. The maps are so big. The first 2 maps are just so big. Yeah, they did add the new Sandhawk or whatever the fuck it's called map, and it feels a lot better, but they need to start adding more maps like that where they're smaller and you can get more gunfights and more gameplay in. I'm tired of running around desperately trying to find people, whether I die or kill them, and I still just don't find them. I land in the biggest parts of the maps and I still can't find people. It's just incredibly stupid about how slow and boring this game is, and it shouldn't be like that, especially since it's a battle royale game. I'm not saying this should be the most chaotic game of all time, but damn it, at least give us some gameplay that we can go off of. I don't want to run around pointlessly bored out of my mind doing nothing. That's just one of my gripes. I know a lot of people don't have that gripes. A lot of people are very patient, but when it comes to me, I'm not patient, and I like to, you know, shoot people when I'm in a game, and there's still no hit indicators in this game. The creator of PUBG actually went on an interview and said this about the hit indicators.
Can we get hit indicators? Like, I just want a general sense of where the hole in the back of my head came from. Please, we all want this. No, y'all don't want this. No, listen, hit indicators are fine, but we really spent a long time getting our sound system to a state that you can tell where you're being shot from if you know how to use the sound system. Hit indicators, I feel it just makes it a little bit arcadey, and we already offer you lots of tools as to know where you're getting shot from.
Now granted, that's a good answer, it really is, but in all honesty, your sound's not that great. It's okay at best. It's, you know what, out of a 10, I'll give it like a 6. It's not that great. You need those hit indicators. Not only will it make the game better, but it makes gunfights more interesting when 2 people are shooting at each other rather than just one person dominating somebody the whole entire gunfight. The sound is alright, like I said earlier. It's not the greatest, it's not the worst. It's like a 6 at best, a 5 most of the damn time. It needs to be improved. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, that's like my little mini review of this game. It's not that good. This is the full release and it's still like this. It's more than likely not gonna get any better. I feel bad for you PlayStation fanboys out there, because if you get this game on PlayStation, this is just your warning. Don't buy it. Don't support it. It's gonna be bad, just like it is on the Xbox One. They don't fix it. They're not gonna fix it. Just don't buy it. And maybe it's just console. Maybe the game on PC is good. I haven't played the PC version. The PC version might be fucking awesome, but the console version just sucks. And honestly, Fortnite is still a very, very big game. And with Call of Duty Blackout mode coming out, the Battle Royale mode for Call of Duty, there's no way in hell PUBG is going to be as popular as it is. They either need to do one of 2 things. One, just fucking move on to the next game and hopefully that game gets just as big, or 2, start rushing and fixing this game, because this game on console at least fucking sucks. It's just not looking good for PUBG. See, this is what Call of Duty Blackout and Fortnite are looking at, and this is what PUBG is looking at.